everybody, welcome back to Is It Kino, your favorite movie and TV show review podcast. I'm your host, Mumkey Jones, Simeon Jonesy, joined as always by Game Squid on YouTube, everyone.
My name Game Squid. Oh my god, I'm already bad at impressions. Hello everybody! Checking out Borat 2 today.
And today we are joined by a very special guest. He's uncrackable, he's unsnackable, he's the first man to ever attempt NoFap November, and he's also the first man to ever fail NoFap November. He's hard-boiled, and he never gets poached. If you don't love him at his worst, you don't deserve him at his best. You know him, you love him. He's not just a movie star, but the star of the movie we're here to discuss today. No, not Pepe the Frog, and no, not Mad Fury. Our guest today is the one, the only, Eggy!
My name, Eggy. Very nice. Let's go.
Eggy, do you appear in this film? Did I miss that scene?
Yeah, I'm the guy that was in the KKK outfit. He forgot to bring his, so I just put mine on. You know, I was already there at the Republican convention, so.
Wouldn't we have noticed if
little stunt double, just in case, because I thought somebody might open fire, and they said my life wasn't worth that much. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. I went for it, balls to the wall.
I feel like Eggy would be the
my fat got out of it a little bit, but
Eggy, you would be a terrible stunt double. The egghead for a cone head, I don't think it would fit.
Would it resemble like if you had like a paper funnel, like the one you put oil into your car and you like stuck like like a Tanga egg? No, not trying to get you demonetized here, but like something like a solid egg-shaped object into like a soft, pliable opening. It would just look like or like when Squidward swallowed the fork in SpongeBob, it would just like the outline would be too visible.
Florin, you don't know about Tanga eggs? You've never used one of those before?
Enlighten me. What are these strange things?
Well, they're this Japanese invention, and basically when a man loves a plastic egg with a soft interior very much, then he goes onto a Japanese website and he uses his Google Wallet to get some yen. You can transfer your money into yen through Google Wallet if you don't have a credit card, and then boom, waits 2 to 4 weeks, and there you go.
Oh wow, sounds so worthwhile.
Yeah, back in 2015, when I was living with my parents and I just started the Mumkey Jones channel, I did a very early version of Mumkey's Mailbag, and somebody sent me a 6-pack of Tanga eggs in the mail. And at that point, I just store all the mailbag stuff. Like I either throw it away or I just store it in my closet because I might use it as a joke in a video down the line if it's something weird. So, of course, it's like eventually my mom finds these 6 fucking Tanga eggs in my closet in my bedroom. And she's like, what the fuck are these for? And eventually, some guy who won an art contest, I asked him what prize he wanted, and he gave me his address and told me to send the Tanga eggs to him. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, that's what happened with them, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, as soon as my mom found them, I was like, no, I got to find a use for these quick. Why else would I be storing these? Oh, you want them? Okay, sure, yeah. I was going to ship them to this guy. It all worked out.
I don't recall in my personal recollection, I don't seem to recall that there's like anything on the package that's obscene. If you get like one of those ones that's like, based on like a woman, then like an adult film woman, then you might be able to tell there's obscenities about it. But I mean, I guess I'll just presume that there must have been something to it, because I don't think your mother would have immediately looked at a box and been like, oh my gosh, it's the Tanga eggs.
No, she had no fucking clue what it was. Yeah. How do you explain having 6 ribbed for his pleasure fucking eggs? Because like the inside had some shit in it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it either. Because I feel like an egg, how does that, are these the size of actual like chicken eggs or what? Like how much of your dick is supposed to go inside this thing?
Yeah, I'm looking at them now, and what the hell is this for? Jesus.
Well,
just like for the tip. That's so crazy.
I don't mean to derail this any further. We could probably get back on the discussion here, but hold on. But I will say this, that yes, no offense, but those ones from Japan, this is just what it is. they fit a little snug. Okay, yes. All right, listen, I'm a connoisseur. Back in the day, I was a connoisseur. Okay, and yeah, the ones from no offense, but it is what it is. They're a little snug. All right, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. That's on the company. But anyways, yes. Let
So
us
Florian
return
should
to
go
discussing
order
this
some.
motion picture, shall we?
Yeah.
What did
Florian.
you say?
Nobody said that you should order Tanga eggs because of their size. Nobody said that. So we're going to move on. Florian, what did you think of Borat 2 rated
Oh my
R?
god. I've been waiting so long for Borat 2. What a great thing that it came back. I didn't even know I wanted it before it was announced, but damn, so glad it's finally here. How do you feel about having your last red pill hero finally convert to feminism, huh? What do you think of that one, Aggie?
Well,
Immediately, right off the bat, you're making assumptions and accusations and like trying to fucking make him feel small for his ideals. He didn't even fucking say anything.
I mean, I guess, once a woman learns how to drive, I mean, it's like boom. It's like I mean, it's what are you gonna do? They go back. I mean, if they have a motor vehicle over there, I mean, I don't know if they do. I seen them. They had goats, and Borat was literally walking his own. They didn't have a horse. He was walking his own carriage of goods to the shipping container or the port or whatever. So I'm not sure how to go from there. But I mean, I guess I guess it is what it is. I mean, obviously, as we could see, at the end of the film, after that happens, his daughter, I mean, of course, obviously, I presume that they say in the film she's 15. I mean, I don't think I'm pretty sure that she's actually an adult. But anyway,
she's 24, the actress, apparently. So just for
she had the nice long flowing hair, and then she at the end she's they would convert to feminism, whatever, and she's got the straight up Karen ice cream scoop, looking it's not the bowl cut, it's the ice cream scoop over your head in in this, I don't know, I'm not sure what the hairstyle is called, but I mean,
I think maybe a good political, compass quiz could be you take a screenshot of each different version of Borat's daughter in the film, and somebody organizes them from hottest to least hot. So you've got Borat's daughter when she's filthy, chained up in the barn at the beginning. You've got when they try to prostitute her out and they whore her up. And you've got feminist Borat daughter at the end. Florian, which one did you find more attractive?
Oh, so easy, man. The last one is definitely the hottest one because she finally stopped using way too much lipstick. Oh my god! And I guess the feral one is the close second.
I think I get where you're coming from on that one, because it's it's feminist news broadcaster in the streets, feral monkey eating shipping container beast in the sheets. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, can I say in this film that is just trying its hardest to be offensive to as many people as possible, I was most offended that somebody ate a monkey. Okay, if that happened to a human, you guys wouldn't be so okay with it. Hello?
Yeah, I was thinking oh my god, they're gonna have a monkey? He's gonna have monkey adventures? But nope, no such luck. What a shame. That would have been great, monkey hijinks, wouldn't it?
Well, they had a monkey corpse.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see Borat touring America with a monkey. It would have been great.
Okay, Eggy,
would have introduced him to everyone.
Eggy, what did you think of a Borat 2?
Well, so I came into the film, and a lot of people, I hadn't watched it. I had seen some people talking about it on social media, and they said, oh my goodness, this film is just crap, but these were guys who they might be on the right leaning side of the spectrum. And so of course, I presume that they were probably, if they were going to openly share their open opinion about it, that they weren't going to, try to look at it through a totally unbiased lens. And so I came into it, I'm going to look at this film through a totally unbiased lens. I'm going to just enjoy this film like any normal person that had never heard of it before. Boom. So I go into it, and I will say that I laughed genuinely. I had genuine laughs more often than I expected. And I tell you, there were parts of the film that I did enjoy. But what did I think of the film overall? I kind of didn't really think that it kind of felt a little meh overall to me. I kind of I don't know, like some of the jokes, some of the writing, it was kind of, it wasn't always a hit to me. It was kind of so to me, I would say. Yeah, that's pretty much overall. Yeah, what I will say, another thing too, is overall throughout the film, I had a feeling that when the woman was involved less, it seemed to be like a little more like the old type of Borat humor to me. Was like it kind of shined through a little more. It was sort of like, that was what I liked probably the most, is like when that like type of old, sort of like the old Borat
just
type
solo
of,
Borat is better
with
than
somebody, and just kind of like that, versus like trying to like then shoehorn in like these conversations between him and his daughter, and like trying to like have this like maintained plot. Because I mean, okay, that's fine, that's obviously they have to have that to sustain like the plot line, that this is what's going to happen, he's going to bring her to the guy. It's but yeah, that was just one of my things, was that I feel like when he was kind of like leading the scenes, that it had like a better flow to it, had better comedic timing to it overall.
Well, to me, this movie is just like really pivotal. It's really. Wait, can I hear you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. It's really important because Borat brings back investigationally journalism. Okay, we see America through the eyes of a stranger once more, and we really take to task the important people in this society. We have really just like we have the abortion doctor, we have the plastic surgery guy, the Giuliani, that's his name, yeah. We have all these people, and we see how they would react if they think that they can get away with it, and it's great to see what happens. But sadly, it does kind of feel like, as a movie, it's nowhere near as good as Borat 1. And I think like the story, Borat 1 had a beautiful story, and all the skits and stuff, they flowed perfectly into the story. And in this one, the story is good too. But I don't know. I guess I just didn't like it as much in general. It's strange, I guess.
Yeah, I think if I could summarize the problem and try to put words into it, I think it's this genre of film is one of my absolute favorites. That's why I was so excited when I found out Borat 2 was happening, because movies like Borat, Bruno, Eric Andre recently released a film called Bad Trip, I think, where it's a film that is like 30% scripted and 70% pranking people and improvising with people who don't realize what movie they're in, or maybe that they're even in a movie at all. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love Borat 1 a whole lot, because it hits that ratio pretty well. And now in Borat 2, like you guys were saying, there's a lot more scripted elements, and I think they ruined the ratio. I'd say this movie is closer to maybe 60 to 70% scripted scenes and scripted comedy, and 30% actually genuinely interacting with people. Because one problem I have is that in the original Borat, it seemed very clear that all of the prank stuff was actual prank stuff. But in this movie, I think they were faking some of that shit, but just playing it straight as if it's like the UPS guy. There's no, like, that was scripted, right? Everything at the UPS store, and they're trying to play it as if it's a prank. That stuff's not very funny if it's scripted.
Look, that guy's the only one who hasn't seen Borat yet. Okay, he's all real. He can't.
Well,
say
and
he's fake.
Everybody's at the beginning, they're all chasing him around, and he's all that stuff, and like all of a sudden he's not wearing any pants. Like, I mean, yeah, how many scene changes and stuff? You kind of like, it's in the you enjoy, as it is, but obviously as we're dissecting and reviewing and being a little critical of things, and that's the thing too with the UPS guy. To me, it seemed like it's obviously, to me, seemed like it was all filmed in one take or in one, like they took one take or whatever. And then it's like, all right, they did all the faxing probably in one, session. And then just like as it's needed throughout the film, or, oh, now it's time for this again. Then it's just like, all right, time to like splice in, it wasn't like they went and came back and there was a different employee. It was like literally everything, like same outfit, same, it's just, yeah, that was one part of it. And like how Florian was saying, like when the scenes he was mentioning, the plastic surgeon, the abortion doctor, and Rudy Giuliani, to me, those scenes had like the most kind of like, like true, and maybe the guy who sold the cage and like and stuff like that. Like those particular scenes all had like that Borat energy to me. Like that had like that, you could like kind of feel that particular kind of like original type of energy versus like some of the other components of the film that were then kind of put it. But those ones like were like kind of the standout scenes to me of like where you really got that type of energy.
Yeah, and when he was staying in the cabin, quarantining with the Trump supporters, that had to be 1,000,000% fake, right? There's no fucking way any of that was
real.
It
just seemed fake, didn't it? I don't know. It could have happened. There's a lot of crazy Trump supporters out there, dude. You have no idea what they'd be. What would you be able to film some people saying?
But they let Borat stay with a random man with a camera crew off the street. They let them stay with them, and like, what's the relationship? Like, is this a gay couple? We have no fucking idea. It's just like two weird roommates.
And another thing about that, now I could even say that is one thing or whatever, and like but then when they go to that festival or whatever that was, that like that anti-mask rally or whatever, and then like the guys are like pulling up on his daughter and like talking to her like all like that. I mean, yeah, it seemed very. I mean, like. They're like, oh, he needs you, or you have to go back. He needs you.
Yeah, as if any real person would be this invested in this dumb bullshit.
Hey, they thought it might be real, dude. Or maybe they're like actual fools who think that Borat is actually real. They actually saw the first movie and they didn't understand any of the satire, and they just think, yep, this is happening. He's back.
It might be the Nathan For You effect, where when people see that they're being filmed and they think that they're part of a TV show, maybe just the logical part of their mind turns off and they assume everything that the producers and camera crew are saying must be true.
That could very well be, absolutely, yeah.
Well, for me, it wasn't that, though. For me, I think the main thing is Borat was always political, but I think now it's gotten more preachy than it was before, and I think it's starting to show much more, and I guess everyone's picking up on it now. Back in the day, you could watch Borat and like half the people wouldn't even get that it's making fun of America. And now,
is that really how you feel?
Dude, I know for a fact that there's a lot of people that saw Borat and they thought like, that stupid Kazakhstani guy.
I don't know about that, man. I rewatched Borat not too long ago, and I thought all the satire on like the Bush administration and like Southern people when he goes to the rodeo and all that, I thought it was pretty clear satire making fun of us and not trying to like have the wacky stupid reporter costume that they found in the movie.
Yeah, but in this case, if you're making fun of rodeo people, everyone can laugh along with that one. But then if you
not specifically rodeo people, but like people with that sort of attitude and belief system, you just like conservative people in the South who are at that time in 2005 or 6 or whenever they filmed that, their big things were purity of marriage, no gay marriage, and blah, blah, blah. And Borat very clearly has scenes making fun of that kind of stuff.
So if you see that and you're one of those people and you would think that you're being made fun of?
I would.
You think?
I mean, people with any self-awareness, maybe these people don't have any.
You're just there, you're spouting off your nonsense, and then you're like, yeah, and then there's like an awkward silence. So you think, yeah, blown out. Everyone knows I'm the boss and I know these things to be true. You really don't think that anyone could misread this thing?
For all we know, there could be like a movie that's out there right now of like some guy listening to movie review podcasters, and we wouldn't even have any idea. And and we could be some pawns in some game, and we don't even understand. We don't even know. He could be speaking like like Portuguese, and we don't even know because we don't speak Portuguese, and we would have no idea. And he's just there, and he's like, "Oh, my name Portuguese man, very nice." And he's like listening to movie review podcasts, and we're some jokes right now. I mean, who knows? But I do think that it was pretty clear. Yeah, there was a understanding, and I think now, it's a little more pointed. Like if you didn't get it last time, you're definitely gonna understand now that
it had to be done. There were literally people who didn't get it. Okay, they just saw that Borat was the butt of the joke, and now I guess now everyone knows, and now they're showing what they really think of it.
Well, I might not have.
Time, there is a little bit still. There is still with like the Ministry of Agriculture, with like the woman handbook and their fatality rate falling to 92%, and they're sticking the thermometer in their mouth and their butt, there is still some kind of like haha at like the culture, or like at the representation of this kind of pseudo alleged kind of comical culture of their people for the film. So I mean, there is still that there, but it's not really like the main premise of what they're kind of getting at.
I mean, if you look at Borat 1 and you see he's living in this horrible village and he's got livestock and everything, and then he comes to America with a chicken in his bag. I mean, you can just tell that he is being a funny man, and then you think, oh, I guess in this show everything's funny, so not too much to read into now. But then when you like specifically see him getting the opinion on an abortion doctor, then you can definitely tell what's going on now. Well, so what did you think of the politics of Borat, huh, Eggy? Of the politics.
I guess like I don't know, like it's like, I guess to me, the like as far as the political writing of the jokes, like the writing to me, I feel like maybe it's just I think I was thinking about it, and like I think probably one of the most original jokes was calling Donald Trump McDonald Trump because he eats McDonald's and his name is Donald. So that was like one of the more original jokes. I mean, you had like it was almost like a checklist of like all the political jokes that are just used in like so many different ways. It almost felt to me like they could have like drummed up something maybe a little more original for the movie. I mean, you had like grabbing the pussy. That was a few times. There was grabbing the pussy jokes. There was small penis. There was Mexican kids in cages. What else? There was just like, it's stuff that I don't know. I guess it all pertains, and it's going to be a political movie, and so they're going to like run over that. Like they're going to run over the things that are people. But it just seemed to me like they could have maybe, for like an actual movie, maybe they could have scrounged up a little more material than the average newspaper political comic strip. The average Saturday Night Live. That was like one of my things that was kind of like in my mind, sort of like it was floating around my mind a little bit while I was watching. It kind of seemed to me like so there were parts where it seemed like it was extended, more ambitious Saturday Night Live sketch, in certain respects at times. That was kind of like, something that kind of was floating around my mind. And I do think that it was, it would, if I had to compare it to a Saturday Night Live sketch, I would say it would be one of those ones where it still had some good writing, and I did still laugh at parts of it, but at the end of it, it's kind of like you have to sort of, I think you are going to get more enjoyment out of it overall if you are a little more like, anti-Drumpf, because, just something like that might be a little more sort of flat or unoriginal writing wise, is still going to be like, I hate that stupid Cheeto man. So like, get him, and you're going to be a little more amped up. You're going to be a little more like savoring the energy in that regard, opposed to just like, I was looking for something a little more original, something a little more like the Giuliani thing, I mean, like, I thought that was funny overall. I thought that was pretty funny overall, just because it was, I don't really care for Rudy Giuliani one way or the other, but it wasn't like, like a worn out Cheeto grab pussy, like joke that I've heard every day for the last 4 years from some other source. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite jokes in the movie that I would consider to be fairly apolitical is when they do go to the like the women's health clinic, which is the anti-abortion people, and they're like all religious and shit. And the misunderstanding is that Borat's daughter has eaten a little plastic baby toy, but of course they don't have the greatest English, so they're telling this person, "Oh yeah, there's a baby in me. I need to get it out." And Borat's like, "Oh, I'm her father, and yes, I put the baby in her. It was my fault." Like, I thought that was really funny, and if that was not scripted, then the reaction of the person they're talking to was hysterical to me. I was personally dying laughing at that whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. I also, because I thought, when it was going on, I was like, I'd seen it, and I'm like, well, this could go, like, as the scene's starting, I'm like, this could be cringy and preachy, or it could be funny. Let's see where it's at. And actually, surprisingly, I found the scene to be, because I was like, oh, is it going to be kind of preachy? I'm like, and then actually, it was a pretty funny scene, and I actually laughed pretty hard. So, yeah, I would agree with you on that.
That was definitely one of the more political ones, I thought. But I guess it was definitely funny. But do you think that the abortion doctor is like terrible or something?
Well, it wasn't an abortion doctor. It was an anti-abortion, like, Christian group. They don't give abortions.
Wait, why'd he go to him then if he was going to get
because
the
that was the prank.
Well.
To see it. Hey, you're so anti-abortion. What if this man raped his fucking daughter and she wanted to get the baby out? Would you still want the baby to be born? And we just got filmed evidence in this fucking Borat documentary. Yeah, these people think that's perfectly fine.
I mean, I guess that would be the implication anyways. They want to outlaw it, period, don't they? So I guess
some of them at least say in cases of rape or incest, then you can get the abortion. I think it's pretty extreme to say banned entirely, right?
Well, didn't they want to arrest doctors for doing it? I mean,
maybe.
Are they gonna check if there was rape in that case? I don't know.
Eggy, can they check if a woman was raped? If she's you would be the expert, right? You're a forensic scientist.
What is that supposed to mean?
You're a scientist. You watch Forensic Files on fucking TV.
Well, as it is my understanding, there are medical wherewithals to do that, to check. I'm not sure how it all goes exactly.
Okay.
Like there's like a little bit of like, there is some type of testing that exists.
So
for
Florian,
that.
be careful out there. Now that you know you can get caught, you sick fuck.
Oh no!
Tell me more about what parts of the movie you liked and disliked, Florian. Go.
Uh-oh.
You're on the spot. You got to do it.
I gotta come up with something.
Unless Iggy wants to talk.
Well, I think it's Florian's turn. I kind of just talked a little bit, but I'll let him take the spotlight for a moment, and I'll pick up my next words.
Well, here's a controversial opinion, I guess. Did the guy do anything wrong?
Rudy Giuliani?
Yeah, that guy.
That was my big question, too.
Because she was like asking him to go to the bedroom with him, and then I guess he gropes her, but I guess she had her hands all over him too, and she's supposed to be 15 years old, but she's played by a 24-year-old woman. I don't know, how is there even a Twitter outrage? Am I crazy? Are like politicians not allowed to have sex with journalists? Is that the implication? Or is Rudy Giuliani just not allowed to have sex with anyone because he's so old?
Yeah, I feel like the worst implication a reasonable person could imply is that it's ethics in journalism case. If they actually had sex and then she wrote some fucking bullshit report about him. But anybody trying to say any sort of pedo shit, or like, first of all, the man was divorced, so that you don't got to worry about infidelity. But pedo shit, she was a reporter and she's 24 and her age was never brought up. What are you supposed to ask every news reporter who is drinking alcohol with you and they have a whole crew? Hey, are you underage? Like reasonably, you wouldn't need to ask that. I don't think Rudy did anything wrong, even if he did have sex with a consenting adult.
Yeah, that's one thing, is that obviously, like, how is a 15-year-old girl gonna get a news interview like that and do all that? Like, I mean, like, if you could say, like, you know, if she was like an AP student and she was like 17 years old, 363 days and 20 hours or something like that, you know, then it's like, all right, murky area. Maybe she's an AP student. Maybe she got a year of college credits ahead of time, and now she's like, you know, maybe she's really like a genius or whatever. But 15, you're just stretching the truth. It's just obviously like you're stretching it to where, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure these politicians are probably out here probably, you know, taking a lot of chicks to Pound Town. I mean, you know, you're rich and powerful, and even if you look like a fucking, you know, you look like one of the Muppets that reviews movies up in the thing, you know, like Rudy Giuliani does, you know, those old man Muppets from the Muppet Show. I mean, listen, he's probably getting topped off like a gas tank, baby. That's all I'm saying. You know, ain't no shame in the game. It's politics. You know, it's not even a real job. All you do is basically just lie all the time.
He's not even a politician. He's like a lawyer.
Wasn't he? He was a mayor of New York. So, I mean,
but now he's Trump's lawyer.
Trump says. Oh, right. I mean, that's what Borat says, but he gets like titles of everyone wrong. But I guess I hear about a Mayor Rudy. Is that him?
Well, he was mayor for like 9/11, wasn't he? So I mean, he was like a mayor at some point.
Well, yeah, but now he's a free man. He's just the president's lawyer. He can fuck any reporter he wants, in my opinion. I think he should.
Maybe he needs to smash ahead of time, because, you know, otherwise you're going to get a Stormy Daniels situation where, and there was a Stormy Daniels joke, of course, but anyway, in the movie. But anyway, Stormy Daniels situation where, yeah, like, you know, there's all of a sudden a baddie is getting too close to President Cheeto, and all of a sudden, you know, before you know it, his anaconda is unleashed, you know, and it's out of control, and who knows what's going on. And then he's getting Bill Clinton out of here, you know. So I mean, basically, Rudy Giuliani's got to take one for the team. You know, he's got to keep his sights peeled for any hot young piece that could be trying to get too close.
So we can all agree Rudy did nothing wrong?
Yeah, I guess not in this case. It's pretty weird. It's like everyone's on Twitter like, oh, he's had sex with Borat's 15-year-old daughter, and then you watch the movie and it's like, what? They had an interview and then she tried to take off his pants. What? Excuse me?
Well, yeah, what I would say is that, to me, if there hadn't been like this, we have the video, Rudy, you know, like thing on Twitter ahead of time, it's like, why, you know, like if people didn't have to take like, you know, scenes of a heavily edited, produced movie as like some kind of, you know, whistle blowing, oh my gosh, you know, or like some huge own, if we had just kind of looked at it and taken it our own way, you know, maybe you could have, you know, there might have been more, I'm not too sure about it, but like, you know, the people trying to like pounce on it as like, oh my gosh, look at this, it's over for Trump now because look what happened. And yeah, and it's just like this, you know, relatively uncompromising scene of this movie where nothing really actually is going on.
But now they have to double down.
It would be under these like false movie pretenses. And so like, you know, that's one thing about it, is that like as much as I enjoy that, so obviously you can't have a lot of, you know, a lot of pretense in some of these situations, because you're not going to get the same reaction for the scene. You're not going to get the same shot. You're not going to get the same, you know, entertaining value out of it to have some pretense there. But at the same time, you know, if it's like coming to a point where, you know, it's like a movie scene, you're ready to, you know, like throw it into a legal battle or like a legal, you know, conundrum mentally or whatever, and whatever it is, you know, yeah, it's a movie scene. And so it's like, you know, if it was really such a whatever it was, they probably should have like stopped filming it and been like, holy crap, look at what this guy just did. Let's take this to the police because this was out of control. That's how I feel about that anyway.
Well, he specifically stopped it before he could play with his dick anymore. So I guess it was really weird how Borat just came in and they had this whole scene planned out, I guess, where he would offer up his butthole so that she would be unscathed. It's such
my back pussy very tight.
Man, what the hell is that poor guy thinking? He's just in there and then suddenly Borat bursts in with a mankini. Oh my god. Yep, traumatized.
Are there any
Yeah, I
other
guess-
big controversial moments that we should tell the people how to feel about now that we've solved the biggest one?
I'm still on that actually. Like, have you seen like what the tweets and the statements about it were from Borat?
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen kind of smugly says, "Oh well, we saw what we saw. Just watch the movie yourself and see what you see." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." The man, like, you should have. If you thought he was going to do something, you guys interrupted way too soon. They should have let it play out more. If she felt uncomfortable, then fine, end it. But I don't think she did because he hadn't done anything really yet. Like they blew their load too quick. They cut it before he did anything incriminating, and now they're trying to pretend that he did something.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's like, yeah, if you think it's okay for a politician to act that way around a journalist, and like, I don't know, they were both coming on to each other. What do you want? Is it okay for journalists to have sex with politicians? Is she at fault? Is she a honeypot?
I mean, isn't that what Gamergate was about? That journalists are allowed to fuck whoever they want, and it's none of our business? Isn't that what their whole point was?
What do you think of that one, Aggie? Is that the point of Gamergate?
Well, I mean, I don't want to rekindle any old flames here. But actually, I'm surprised that they didn't make a Gamergate joke in the movie. You know, they could have probably done something. It seemed like that might have been like up their alley. That their target audience might have picked up on that type of humor. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I think that, like I said, for it to be like this, for them to have it on social media, I mean, I can see it as like a marketing point, like, oh, check it out, let's see what happens, But for people like actual like verified blue check people that are, I mean, obviously we all know blue checks, mean you're pretty much kind of a goofy, but to people who are supposed to have some type of legitimate credibility somewhere online, I guess, like to come out and be all like, oh my gosh, this just goes to show, this is so crazy. These crazy drumfers, look at them, but yeah, it just wasn't really all that to me. I mean, it didn't, I think probably the best part of the Rudy Giuliani scene, in my opinion, was the part that then ties into the surprise ending, with when he's coughing at the interview.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably, to me, is like the best part of it, just for the fact that it then ties in, because like the ending, to me, that was probably the best part of the entire film. That particular part, to me, as far as like actual like like engrossing, engaging, like actually something going on. And once again, obviously this is like the scripted part, so it's not like not the typical Borat fare, but like that part, to me, like all of it coming together, was like the most kind of like probably satisfying part of the movie to me overall, like, I guess, because there was parts where I was really getting some laughs in, even though overall, like I said, overall it kind of was, I feel like overall it wasn't all that to me, but that particular surprise twist, that was pretty good stuff to me.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the twist real quick. So in case you care about the lay epic twist at the end of this comedy 90-minute film, I guess tune out now, but let's jump into that. Because while it was scripted, and I'm kind of against the scripted elements of Borat, the magical elements of Borat is when it feels like the film is alive, and that from day-to-day filming, they know that the story could go in almost any other direction from scene to scene, just based on some of the improv moments of the movie and things that they film. And the fact that they started filming this before coronavirus, and then were able to reincorporate scenes that were filmed before coronavirus was a big deal, they could reincorporate those moments into the end of the film and say, oh, actually, Borat was patient zero. He spread coronavirus all across the globe. I thought that was a great sign that they started this movie with no idea how it was going to end, or at least a rough idea. And then they tied everything together in a great improv way, I think.
Man, that was so bizarre. What the hell is the implication of this? So really, all the precautions, they were all for nothing, because some kind of foreigner could just come in and then talk to everyone and spread the virus everywhere. The super spreader goes on for like 3 months of infecting everyone.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, like with like that part where they with like sticking the bat into like the beaker, and like when he's like doing like when it's like the flashback, everything going on, and he's like, ooh, he's like, yeah, that was that was pretty funny. Yeah, that was that was definitely like it definitely could be interpreted. I mean, yeah, I took it as just like entertainment, but yeah, it could be interpreted by maybe some people who take the virus a little more seriously. Yeah, that or if they want to take it in a political type of way, like maybe that like xenophobia against Borat was the right thing to do. If people had just been extra hateful towards Borat and extra discriminatory from the very beginning, we could have all been safe from the virus.
Yeah, they all had the right idea in Borat 1, where everyone was like, no, don't kiss me, don't touch me. And now they were all happy and loving each other. Now we're getting this disease for it. Oh my God.
The liberalization of America has doomed us all.
Yeah, and it was apparently made in a lab, according to Borat. Wow. It is all... we don't have to cook our food or anything. It was made in a lab. Holy shit.
Did either of you watch the South Park Pandemic special?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for this movie because that Pandemic special came out, 2 weeks ago, and it has the same twist where Randy was the one who started coronavirus because he was in China last season, and then they could tie it all back.
Spoilers.
Well, it's like, wow, Borat 2 has the same great little twist joke, but they filmed it way before South Park did it, but then the movie's released 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I didn't see that special, so I guess it was a fresh, refreshing thing for me. So if I had, then I probably would have some of the same opinions of like, how I'd heard some of those other same jokes, some of the same, Drumpf jokes before. But so yeah, it was fresh to me, and I guess that probably maybe, yeah. So, but at the same time, it's still sort of like it's not a joke that's really been done heavily at the capacity or at the saturation of some of the other jokes. So but yeah, I didn't see it, so it was a fresh twist for me with this film.
Yeah, and it's just like an unfortunate coincidence because there's no way either production could have known. It's just like, they both had the same funny joke, and then they came out at around the same time.
Well, I guess it is somewhat obvious seeming now, but maybe it's just hindsight, huh? Maybe the thing is, I guess maybe that was why the movie wasn't so funny to me, because I've seen it before. Oh no, the same joke. But I think the main thing why the movie hasn't been funny for me is because they killed off my favorite character.
What, the big fat guy?
Yeah, producer Asmat.
He was in the chair at the beginning. We got to see his dick one last time.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought he was the chair.
Oh yeah,
skipped him and made the
chair.
Yeah,
I didn't know exactly what they meant by that, but yeah, I guess this movie is oddly tragic. Like between Borat 1 and 2, Borat was like in a prison camp doing hard labor. And his daughter's like chained up her whole life in a barn with the fucking goats and pigs. Like, these two main characters, this is probably the most from rags to riches story of any film I've seen in recent memory. Because who starts off in 14 years of prison labor and then becomes the most successful fourth best reporter in all of Kazakhstan? What a rise to fame and power.
Yeah, who knows if he'd even be able to speak after all that time in the gulag. It's amazing. What a guy.
I know some people did say, and now I hadn't done like a fresh rewatch of Borat, the original film, anytime recently, but some people did say they felt like he was a little like his accent was a little like dulled, I guess. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, that could be. Some people thought it was like a sloppy on his part, but maybe actually
there's a deep lore.
He after being in prison for 14 years, maybe he just had spoke so little that he even couldn't know his own voice the same as he used to 14 years ago.
Well, he was in America for like a year, so he wouldn't have the same thick accent anyways, I guess.
Okay, Florian, I think before we wrap this up and give our final thoughts, you should prepare to give your final thoughts in a fluent Borat accent. I know you really want to show it off to the people.
Oh, no.
My name is Florian. I like a corner pizza. Very nice.
Oh, my God.
That's my Florian impression.
Oh yeah, that's me. I guess then I'll.
I don't have a wife.
I'm cringing so hard. I'm paralyzed by cringe. Oh my god! End it now.
Aggie, do you have any final thoughts on the film, and do you think it's kino?
Well, I guess here's my final thoughts if I had to give a summary here. It was better than I thought it was going to be, based on the perception of what some people have been saying. But overall, I still think that it is a largely mediocre offering for the most part. I mean, if I probably wouldn't, I don't know. It's like I said, it has its moments, but overall, it kind of just felt like I probably wouldn't really want to watch it again. It was kind of just like, overall. And I would say, I guess to me, I just didn't think it was kino. It was a little off the mark as far as kino goes, in my personal opinion. Now, with that being said, if you are someone who enjoys like a Saturday Night Live, or you enjoy late night talk show routines or whatever, it really, it hits those Orange Man jokes, and they got them there for you. So, if that's kind of your forte, you'll probably really enjoy this film. But for me, coming into it just from like a critical perspective of the writing and everything like that, from, like my perspective, it just wasn't really all that to me. That's kind of my opinion.
Well, I guess I kind of did like the drum.
Hey,
show.
Where's the accent?
I've been trying my whole life to learn to speak English properly, and now you're expecting me to
embrace your roots.
Wow, I legit can't do it. Holy shit! No, this is gonna happen. No, I think I just speak too complicated to say anything in the Borat voice.
Can you say my wife?
My wife is very nice. Not.
Wow. Did Borat just walk into the room? Well, that sounded perfect.
Did I ace it? Oh,
yeah,
God.
It sounded just like him.
Oh, my name German Borat.
You got to do like a deeper growl in your voice, I think.
I just don't know words to say with it. Holy shit.
You could say, I want to fuck my daughter.
Oh, God.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah,
man.
Now that everybody has clicked off the video, was this movie kino?
I think it's like a 6 out of 10, which is too bad because the original movie was, the original Borat was probably an easy 10. I think everything about that movie was just so good, and even looking back at it now, it ages pretty well. It didn't have any of that like real up-to-date politics that would get outdated like this one does. Even though I liked the scene where they made the Disney princess Melania and her face when he grabs her by the pussy, oh my God, a thing of beauty. But I don't know. I don't think it'll age well, and it already isn't as good as it was. And the high point of the whole Borat universe is when he had that naked fight with his producer. I think that was just the best scene ever, and I guess it can never be topped. And they got rid of the producer. Did he die in real life? What a shame.
I mean, judging by how he looked, he probably died. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, 15 years can be a rough time for a person, depending on how they're living their life. That is true.
I know, he seemed so powerful in that fight scene. I think he would have held on. I guess he'd look really old now, though. What a shame.
Well, I'm disappointed that I let Florian go before me, because I was going to say, word for word, that as somebody who loves this genre, this very specific genre in particular, I would give Borat a 10 out of 10 in that genre, and I was going to give Borat 2 a 6 out of 10. You motherfucker. But I think I'm more positive than both of you. I'd say a 6 out of 10 is like a worth watching, especially since it's a sequel.
Yeah, sure.
It's basically like, hey, if you liked Borat 1 at all, you'll like this one too. It's just not as good, but I'll probably watch both of them back to back every once in a while. I think they're both really good. Or at least
that is true.
Entertaining.
I will say, yeah, if you did enjoy Borat 1, then you probably that is true that, yeah, it's still got that. It's just, it's just less good of it. But when Florian said how, it won't age as well, when it comes to the end and how the ending thing right before the credits roll and it says like, remember to vote. Yeah, that was like an immediate feeling to me. That was like an instant, like, rubber band snap on the skin of like that exact feeling. I'm like, somebody watches this movie even in literally 1 month from now, obviously there's still gonna be elections in the future, but like a Donald Trump, Mike Pence heavy storyline that ends with remember to vote, and in like 2 weeks from now, literally at this point, it's gonna be like, that's already going to be like of the past. You know what I mean?
It'd be like if I made
whatever happens, you know what I mean? But like,
if I made a video called "Here's How Bernie Can Still Win" and I posted that today, like, it's not going to play well to history.
Right.
Well, the thing is that it's, I guess, really important stuff that he let his opinions be heard, and he made this whole case for why you shouldn't vote for Trump. But then I guess it's just not entertaining. So I mean, still a 6 out of 10 because it still has Borat in it. But yeah, I guess that's what happens.
Too much gay shit with him and his daughter. Like, I don't. Sure, throw in a relationship in the movie. Let's humanize Borat of all fucking fictional characters. Let's give him a fucking arc. Great, that's what I wanted for Borat.
Well, he already had like the perfect arc in Borat 1.
Yeah,
and it wasn't preachy. It was just like, yeah, you can't get Pamela Anderson, but you can settle for a hooker.
Yeah, what happened to her?
No, anyone can relate to that. But this one, he starts to love his daughter. Come on, man, fucking weird champ.
Another thing of this movie ripping off movies on accident. In the new Keanu Reeves, what's that called? Bill and Ted. That's the same exact plot. Is that, let's bring back this old thing, Bill and Ted, but now they have daughters, and the film's about their relationship with the daughters. Come on, give us something else. At least Bill and Ted's daughters were fucking hot.
Yeah, they were definitely hot. Damn. Did you watch it?
No, but I like the blonde actress from the other movies that she's in, so I just know that she's hot.
Yeah, she doesn't exactly have a great part in it, so I guess it's not worth watching for her.
Yeah. Well, is that it for our Borat 2 review, guys?
Yeah, I guess I'll make a couple quick footnotes here of a couple things that, like with the anti-mask rally, like saying that we should, like, how they're like chanting out, chop up the journalists and the scientists like the Saudis do. Listen, obviously, as everybody knows, I'm one of the most tolerant and diversitized tolerators of things that exist. So I'm not saying anything extreme, and I would never be extreme about anything. But
no.
but I laugh pretty hard about that. I'm like, obviously, me and the media have had a strained relationship over the years where they're blaming me for murder and things like that. So, I mean, to like kind of, that was kind of, I think certain people would take that as like probably the most like, scathing, like, oh my gosh, look at these crazy Americans. They're crazy lunatics, on one hand. And then me on the one hand was like, yeah, that sounds like some guys that I'd probably go have a beer with, obviously in a non-extreme circumstance and in a very tolerant circumstance. And then also another thing at the end of the movie with the running of the American.
And the like, Karen.
With Donald Trump coming out with like the giant like OK hand symbol, to me, that was like another thing where I like kind of rolled my eyes about that. I'm like, really, like they should have had a Pepe the Frog micro penis neck beard, with the OK hand symbol running around. That was kind of like something to me where I was kind of like, another joke that I find to be like kind of a bit passe or whatever the terminology might be. But that's just a couple things that I didn't say that while we were talking that kind of were just floating around in my head still. But that's, I think other than that kind of is about all I have to say about that.
Florian, do you think the Karen meme will still be relevant 1 year from now?
Oh, God. I don't even like it now. I hope not. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Borat, do all the fucking current events and shit, but the Reddit meme of the week, I don't know if you need to put Karen in the movie. I don't know if that's going to age very well.
It's so weird. Like, if you... I mean, if you go outside of America, then you see like the memes that come from America, like the really big ones, and how they're bastardized by whatever your culture is, and then that's exactly what they get. I mean, in the first movie, they don't exactly take any good lessons from America, but now they go full woke and they embrace all kinds of lessons, but they do them in a really bizarre way. Oh my god, it's pretty close to home, I guess. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be a Borat 3 at some point. Wouldn't that be great?
All right.
Just hoping there.
Guys, I think we should jump into plugging all of our shit. And Florin, I know you got a big one, so let's jump to Aggie first. Where can people find you online, and what are they going to find?
Well, if you find me, like I say, my HQ is kind of at 1 egg white on Twitter. That's at the number 1 egg white on Twitter. You know, broke 19K recently, and in fact, maybe even I think last week I still had also broke 19K. So we're still there. We're still rocking and rolling.
But after this podcast, you'll probably be at like 30K.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm putting people on. I'm letting them know what's kino and what's not in my personal opinion. So. But yeah, then everywhere I have a SoundCloud, Instagram, YouTube, and stuff like that. But really, just follow me on Twitter, you know, and look for my tweet notifications. I've been streaming pretty regularly lately. We just played Dark Souls for the first time last night. Somebody gifted me Dark Souls 3, so it's not, maybe I'm not playing it the right kind of way because I'm not playing the first one first. But we played that for a few hours last night on YouTube. It was a good grand old time. So yeah, you'll see the links. I'll send my links out to that stuff on Twitter from time to time if you're checking it out and following. So make sure to go smash that follow button. Thank you very much.
And Florian, what's your big special announcement? What do you have rolling on in?
I'm going to be releasing the week of animation, 7 animations in 1 week. And the last one's going to be about Mumkey. It's going to be Simi and Jimmy versus Trump, the ultimate survival guide. And can you believe all the crazy lip shit that Mumkey's going to say in this? I can't wait. How did I get him to say all this stuff?
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but if people listen to the other kino where I had to do a bunch of sex sound effects, people can probably predict how this video of me and Trump is going to end.
Oh man, it's probably going to be in the thumbnail, just the sex part. Oh my god.
I can't wait to see that get taken down.
Well, it's censored, don't worry. You're under the sheets.
Is that going to be what the ending of Borat 2 would have been if the monkey had still been live? You know, a monkey and Trump, you know, in the close quarters.
And Biggs has to run in and say, "I'm only 15."
Yeah.
Oh my god. He's more like, no, he's mine.
So when do these animations start coming out? What date are you doing this?
Well, it's either Monday or Sunday, so it's probably like tomorrow from whenever this comes out. So get hyped, everyone.
So go subscribe to Game Squid on YouTube, everyone.
Woo.